Hi everybody, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel. And for today's video, I wanted to share a flip of the month of April in my daily journal with you guys. So if you guys have watched any of my previous content, you'll know that I have a hobonichi cousin that I use functionally just as a normal daily planner. But this is actually a different cousin. As you can see, it is a spring start. This is something that I picked up at the end of March because I had found throughout the month of March that my mental health had really taken a hit, both from some not so great things that have happened in my life, but also I found that even when everything seems to be going fine, since I live alone and there's not always someone who's always readily available for me to talk to, when thoughts just pile up in my head and have nowhere to go, I find that that also really stresses me out, even if there's not necessarily something particular that I'm stressing about. So I thought that having a daily journal, somewhere where I could just dump all of those sort of thoughts and emotions out, no matter how stupid they may sound, was something that was going to be really beneficial. So I decided to pick up a hobonichi cousin to do this. I knew I wanted something dated to keep me accountable because I have tried journaling and just like astrology, and if there's not something dated, I just don't keep up with it, which it is okay to skip pages sometimes, but when you're trying to build consistency, I find that having something dated really helps. And I was between the A6 Techo and the cousin, and I almost went A6 because I didn't find that the weekly pages in this planner were really necessary for its main purpose. But ultimately I did end up going with the cousin because I wanted to make sure I had ample room, because sometimes once my pen hits paper, it's hard for me to stop. So I don't always use up all the space, but I did opt to have that extra space rather than go with the A6. Just to make sure, and it makes me feel more comfortable knowing that I have room. So getting into the actual flip of the planner, since this is the first month that I'm showing you guys, I am going to show you the initial setup, and I put setup in air quotes because, to be honest, I didn't really set this up at all. I just kind of hopped in, but I do have the cousin not in a leather cover, but it is in a Midori A5 clear cover. This is the cover that a lot of people say is too small for the cousin. I think mine might have been a tiny bit larger, but I did stretch it out, and it was on previous cousins, like last year's. So it has stretched out on its own, but I would suggest getting the A5 Codex meant for the one day, one page from Midori if you're interested in a clear cover, because this was kind of a pain to stretch out in the beginning, but now it works perfectly. And on the front here, I have a sticker from Stark and Stanley on Etsy. If you're at all interested in hockey, she has a ton of great hockey vinyl stickers on her shop, which I will link below, along with anything else that I mentioned. And then if I forget, please let me know in the comments and I will let you know. So opening her up, up here I just have an extra Avery tab in case I need it. I think it was here from the last planner that I had this clear cover on. Sorry if you can hear any noise in the background. That is my cats. I would make them be quiet, but if you at all know cats, you know that that is not possible. So we're just gonna have to make do. On the bottom of this like inner flap of the Midori clear cover, I did put an adhesive Avery business card pocket, just for instances like this where I don't have it in a leather cover. So I have a little bit of pocket options. And then in this pocket, I just have a couple of credit card size sheets from Randy.plans that I use pretty often in this planner. And then on the front here, I just have a Papaya Boys McLaren sticker. I cannot remember the name of the Etsy shop off the top of my head. It is the first time I've ordered from them, but I love it, and I will link them below, and I will try to put it up on the screen. Highly recommend. And then the plan is for, as the year goes on, to sort of fill this up with stickers, with like either memories or stickers that I've acquired. Instead of initially setting it up and filling it up, I want this to be something that kind of reflects the entire duration of this journal, which is from April of this year to March of next year. So I think that'll be really cool to see at the end of the year. Nothing on this page. This page I just kind of set up like my functional cousin is set up, with holidays and PTO days, but nothing, no kit or anything like that. And I haven't used anything on these like vertical monthlies. I've never had a really good use for these in the past, and that has stayed true for this planner. I think if I don't come up with anything significant to use this for in May, I will just sort of calendex on this page. But to be honest, there's nothing really on my daily pages that I need to calendex, which you'll see. But I don't want this to go to waste, so I will probably do that even if it's just a couple days throughout the month. So let's get started. I did not plan well enough ahead to move these tabs back to April. They are currently tabbed like as they would be in everyday life, which would put them all in May, because I am filming this on May 2nd. So sorry about that, but I will have to do a little bit of flipping. But here is my monthly. It's not interesting really because I didn't buy this planner to use a monthly calendar, but I did sort of just set it up as a carbon copy of my functional monthly using a kit from the Coffee Monsters Co. I did have the idea, and I will try this for May, where if there's nothing currently in the box and I either am really into a song or I hear a quote or my friend said something funny, I will come in and like letter it in the box just to sort of fill this up more and make it feel more like a journal than a planner, because I don't know, I feel like I have functional monthlies in every planner that I've ever used no matter what, because I want to fill the month up, but I feel like there's something a little bit more I could be doing with this page that hopefully I will try to do in May. So flipping past all of the other months, we get started on the weekly pages. So like I said in the intro to this video, weekly pages were not a priority for this planner. They just happened to come. So I am going to not force myself to use them, but they are available to me. And I found that I did keep up with memory planning, creative journaling in the weekly sections. It's just such a great way to relax at the end of the day or throughout the day when you just kind of need a tiny bit of break. You can take like 5 minutes, fill in things that happened, and I don't know, I think they're nice to look back on. Are they necessary? No. If my life is really busy at the time, am I going to force myself to keep up with this? No. At the end of the day, the priority is going to be the daily pages, but I don't know, I think they're fun to look at and they're fun to do. So while I'm enjoying them, I'm going to keep doing them. So flipping through these weeklies, they all kind of have the same setup, which is so let's actually give you a sneak peek of May, because this is the current week. So as you can see, I've kind of set it up yesterday, put in all the timed events, anything I know that's going on. And then as the week goes on, like throughout the day, I start adding in tasks and little things that I want to remember. Usually I will pick either washi tape or a kit to use, and I will try to base any stickers or colors around that theme. So for this week, I used a kit from Starlight Paper Studio. Most of this is actually not the kit, because this is like the 4th time I'm using that same kit. I like to buy standard weekly kits a lot and then stretch them out over multiple weeks, like at least 3. So this is the 4th week that I'm using this kit. So like this full box, these headers, this little strip here, and these foiled little stickers are all from the kit, but then the rest is just from my collection, like these washi tapes. I will link all of my sticker shops that I frequent, which to be honest, it's like 3 or 4 mostly for character stickers and icons. But if you have a specific sticker that you're looking for, let me know in the comments and like be as specific as you can, and I will let you know where those are from. So this was the first week available in the planner. Moving on to this week, no kit, just washi tape. But once again, that same sort of setup. This was using a sterling ink kit. Unfortunately, this kit is no longer available. It is retired, but I will link sterling ink below because she has a bunch of other gorgeous stickers. This was using a standard size kit from Virgo and Paper. Anytime I'm saying that I'm using a standard vertical kit, it's those 1.5 inch boxes, like that kind of style. And then I just sort of trim them down. So as you can see, this box, I trimmed off the sides. This full box over here, I did trim to fit in the column. Even though it would fit on this page, I wanted it to fit in the column, so I trimmed it down. Sometimes I buy hobonichi size kits, sometimes I buy standard kits. It really just depends on whether I like the stickers in a certain kit better, but they both work perfectly. Some of them you just have to put a little extra work in. This week I used some washi tape, no kit. This washi is from Untitled, but it was in a subscription box, so I don't believe it's available anymore. And then now we're into May, so let's flip to the daily pages, which is the meat and potatoes of this planner. So since the month is over, I do have this Receiptify taped in on this monthly page. If you're unfamiliar with Receiptify, it's just a website that sort of shoots out your top 10 songs of the month in the form of like a receipt. And I just printed this out using my foam memo printer. I do plan on printing this out every month so that I can see sort of a recap of my listening history for that month. So flipping to the daily pages, this is pretty much a pretty typical layout. I found that like this amount of space, sort of starting on this side of the delineating line that breaks you up from the timetable, is adequate space. But I didn't want to leave this blank, so I did just sort of put in my task list from the day. And I think that that's also something that's really nice to have to look back on. So while I won't necessarily look back on this section, because sometimes reading my writing makes me cringe, and it's mostly just an exercise in getting thoughts out of my brain so that I'm not going insane or being that lady who talks to her cats all the time. This I do feel like would be interesting to look back on, both as a reference in future years, but also a reference like a week from now if I forget, because I do hop around functional planners a lot, so sometimes it can be hard to find. So just to know that this is here is pretty helpful. And I have taped in pictures and receipts throughout, as you'll see, but this will always stay the same where there's journaling on this side, task list over here. I do keep the deco matching the weekly if I do a weekly. So as of now, I have done a weekly every single week, so there is a theme that matches every single week, but if I don't get to the weekly, I'll just do whatever I want. But I used more leftovers from the kit and the washi tape. It was my kitten's birthdays. They are no longer kittens. I think their first birthday means that they're no longer kittens, but this picture right here was printed on the Canon Ivy printer. I don't really love to use this that much because the paper is like kind of really expensive, but every so often I will. So I printed out this picture that my friend drew for me that I got printed on a canvas that I wanted to remember. And as you'll see throughout, there is journaling on this side, but it's not always long form. So like today, on this day, I just kind of broke it up into like bullet points and called them moods. This is inspired by someone on Instagram. I think her handle is like at 0.38, but she does a lot of like monthly moods. So that's where I got that idea. Quotes from a podcast I was listening to. This day was opening day for Major League Baseball, and it was also the day that the Pirates extended their best players, so that was awesome. On this page, I sort of wrote a little bit about Project Stash Down, which if you're unfamiliar with that, it is a challenge created by Cindy Gunter-Balda over at Llama Letters. And basically she created this challenge, which I will link the video where she talks about it down below, but she created a challenge where basically the objective is to like use the stationery that you have and to be intentional about it. So every month you pick like a new collection of items that you make a point to use throughout the month. And so I just sort of swatched all of the items that I was going to use for the month of April and wrote a little bit about why I wanted to use them. On this day, I just sort of pasted in some pictures because I went out to eat with my friend, and I decided to do this instead of writing, and I like the way that it turned out. Over here, I started a running list. Obviously, I didn't fill it in, so it's kind of useless at the moment, but I will do that. And this day, I noticed that I had just like watched a lot of TV, but it was like a lot of shows that I've already watched before, so I wanted to create a list of shows that I wanted to watch instead. I have a lot of shows that I want to get to, and every time I say that I want to get to them, I end up watching Bones for the 80th time. So this is the day where my friends got back to me. I had sort of like convinced them that they needed to watch the Formula One show on Netflix. So this was when they finally got caught up, and I just wrote a little bit about that and put in a screenshot of some of our conversations. This was the Pirates home opener day, and it was also the day I got back into doodling on Procreate. So I doodled this like PNC Park sketch on Procreate, and I printed it out on vellum and I taped it in here. But on Thursday, as you can see, I did nothing. I was just super tired, and I feel like I was really burnt out on Thursday. So as you can see, I just kind of had this notepad that someone had given me at the beginning of the pandemic as like sort of a like gag gift. And it's just like a work from home, like I did nothing today worksheet. So I just kind of taped that in here to show that I really didn't do anything today, and that is okay. On the 15th, my old roommate got new kittens. Look how cute they are. So I just sort of documented that. And then on the 16th, I got some Happy Mail. So I taped in I taped in like the thank you card from the shop, and then I also went to a little bakery. So I taped in that receipt as well. So this was Easter, nothing super exciting, but the Pirates were in second place, which I knew wasn't going to last. So I put in a screenshot of the standings table just for posterity to show that at one point they were second. Moving on, nothing too exciting here, just a bunch of standard journaling. Oh, this was the day that McLaren finally had a podium this season, so I documented that. This is just a meme. You're not going to understand it. It's not even that funny. I just laughed because I'm dumb. But I also went back to that bakery and got some more like pastries. I taped in these from the packaging so that I could remember what I liked for next time. Keep it going. This is when I decided to start a nose pen, and it has not worked out. As it always does. What's new, right? I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Oh, this was the day that I finished Eureka. So I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but it was on the Sci-Fi Channel like years ago, and I just discovered it, and I watched all 5 seasons in like 2 weeks, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I love it. It was so much fun. Highly recommend if you're into sci-fi shows, but to be honest, if you're into sci-fi shows, you've probably watched it. These stickers are actually from a Happy Planner sticker book. I don't know what it's called, but I will try and find it if it's still available and link it below. But I'm like kicking myself for not using, oh, you're not even framed. Sorry about that. I am kicking myself for not using more stickers from this sticker book throughout the week, because I just kind of didn't realize that they went so well. But like with the gold foil and the like muted gem tone colors, they match this washi tape so well. This day I was really obsessed with Light's new album Pep. I had seen a lot of people talk about it on like Instagram stories, and I was so obsessed. I think I discovered it actually on the 29th, but like really got into like listening to every song like over and over again on repeat on the 30th. I did decide to sort of letter in all of the songs here. It was kind of inspired by like a concert or a festival lineup poster, but I don't know, I really liked how that turned out. And then that brings us to May. So yeah, that's a little flip through of my daily journal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do decide to like read anything that I write, please like don't judge me. Like I said, this journal is simply to get thoughts out of my head. I found that my mental health has gotten a lot better since starting this. So if you have ever been considering it, but were on the fence, I would highly recommend it. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are interested in my content. It's really, really appreciated. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.